Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Thank you. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, and home-brewed 5e items for your games. Time once more for another grim Darktober video with the next assassin from the Officio Assassinorum, the Venenum. Different temples of the Officio Assassinorum all operate within different guidelines on how a target should be taken, as well as what type of targets they should be sent after. The Venenum are the masters of biological weapons and leave no trace of their involvement on their targets. They utilize a whole catalog of poisons and acids to do their work. Need a body to vanish? They have a chemical that dissolves the body perfectly. Need to make it look natural? How about a compound that causes a heart attack or another natural cause? Because they got that. How about multiple targets that need to be removed at the same location? Yeah, they're the best to handle that. Armed with deadly poison injectors, gas bombs, and their signature weapon, the Hook Fang, a razor claw blade laced with highly dangerous neurotoxin. Through training and slight gene manipulation, the Venenum assassins are much tougher than most people. After all, what's the point of sending out a poisoner if they fall victim to their own poison? For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and we'll be pulling spells from other books, but not class features. We're using standard point array to keep things simple, and we are not multi-classing. Make Intelligence 15, Dex 14, Con 13, Strength 12, Wisdom 10, and we're going to be dumping Charisma with an 8, as it's the least important for this build. Venenum are humans. Resourceful gives you an inspiration dice after you finish a long rest. Skillful gives you a free skill. Grab Stealth. Versatile grants you a free origin feat. For this origin feat, Savage Attacker allows you to roll extra dice when you deal damage with a weapon. Now when you deal damage, you can roll twice and choose which damage you deal. To finish out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, place +2 into Dex and +1 into Con. For your origin feat, Tough gives you double your current character level in HP and then adds +2 to each level after. For skills, grab Arcana and Nature. For your proficiencies, we're going to need Alchemist supplies for dangerous chemicals and Herbalism kit to make antitoxins and health potions to keep you from ending yourself. Level 1 rogues start off with 4 skills. Take Acrobatics, Athletics, Investigation, and Sleight of Hand. You're proficient in all weapons that have the Light or Finesse property, Light Armor, Thieves' Tools, and the saving throws Dex and Intelligence. Expertise doubles your proficiency bonus for 2 skills you have. Place this into Stealth and Sleight of Hand. Thieves' Cant gives you 2 more languages. First language you get is Thieves' Cant, which is a coded language used by criminal, and then the next one is of your choice. Weapon Mastery allows you to use the mastery property of 2 weapons you are proficient with, and you can switch these out at the end of a long rest if you choose. You actually have a lot of good options here, so I'll let you look into them and see what you like. Sneak Attack adds bonus damage once per turn that you can make with a finesse or ranged weapon while you have advantage on the attack or the target is within 5 feet of an ally of yours. The damage starts off as 1d6 but will be upgraded later on. Level 2 rogues receive Cunning Action, Dash, Disengage, and Hide are bonus actions to you. Level 3 rogues now have access to their subclass. Arcane Trickster from the Player's Handbook is going to give you all the nice poison weapons you have other than your Hook Fang. You are now a spellcaster, well, a quartercaster, and can pull spells from the wizard spell list, which means intelligence will be your spellcasting modifier and the basis for your spell DC. You start off with 3 cantrips, one of which must be Mage Hand, and 3 first level spells of your choice. But before we get to your spells, Mage Hand Legerdemain makes your Mage Hand invisible. You can use it with a bonus action, and you can use it to make sleight of hand checks, which is really good for you. Steady Aim lets you give your yourself advantage on your next attack roll on a turn you haven't moved, but your speed becomes 0 until the end of your turn. Your sneak attack is upgraded to 2d6 extra damage. Now on to spells. Mage Hand gives you a Servo Skull drone for 1 minute that you can control out to 30 feet and can perform simple tasks, like open or close doors and windows, retrieve or stow items that can weigh up to 10 pounds, or empty vials of poison. Yeah, use this to slip poison into people's drinks. Acid Splash throws a small globe of acid out to 60 feet, which shatters into a 5-foot sphere. Each creature within the sphere must make a dex save or take 1d6 acid damage. Poison Spray releases a small spray of poison at a creature within 30 feet, causing 1d12 poison damage on a hit. Chromatic Orb throws an orb of acid or poison, your choice. Well, it's actually several different things, but those are the ones you want, out to 90 feet towards a creature. If it hits, it deals 3d8 poison damage. If it hits, it deals 3d8 damage of your choice. If 2 of the dice have the same number on it, the orb bounces towards another target within 30 feet, allowing to attack with it again. When you upcast this at higher levels to add damage, you also allow it to bounce more times equal to the spell level you cast it at. Ray of Sickness fires an injector at a creature within 60 feet. On a hit, they take 2d8 poison damage and have the poison condition until the end of your next turn. A poison creature has disadvantage on all attack rolls and skill checks. Tasha's Caustic Brew from Tasha's Cauldron fires a stream of acid in a 30-foot line. Each creature within the line must make a dex save or become covered in acid. For 1 minute, while you maintain this spell, a creature covered in acid takes 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns, and this stays until a creature uses its action to remove the acid or it's washed away. Level 4 Rogues earn our first ability score improvement. Let's grab a feat. Poisoner from the Player's Handbook does a few things. First, it adds +1 to your intelligence. Now when you deal poison damage, it ignores resistance to poison, and it gives you proficiency in the Poisoner's Kit. With 1 hour of work and up to 50 gold, you can craft a number of doses of poison that equal your proficiency bonus with a bonus action. You can apply the poison to a weapon or piece of ammunition, and this poison will last 1 minute or until you deal damage with it. When this damage is taken, you force a con save, dealing 2d8 poison damage and giving them the poison condition until the end of your next turn if they fail to save. The DC for this poison is the same as your spell DC, as they both use your intelligence stat. For your new spell, False Life boosts your toughness more by granting you 2d4 +2 temporary HP. You can upcast the spell to add +5 per spell level in temp HP. Level 5 Rogues gain Uncanny Dodge. Now when you take damage, you can use your reaction to halve the damage. Cunning Strike adds effects to your sneak attack damage by sacrificing damage dice from your sneak attack. Right now, you can only have one effect added to your sneak attack each time you use it. The DC for these effects is based on your Dex modifier, which is still going to be pretty good compared to your spellcasting modifier. For these effects, Trip costs 1d6 and forces a dex save on a creature that is a size large or smaller, and if they fail, they are now prone. A prone creature's speed is halved, must now use half its speed to stand up unless its speed is 0, then it's not getting up, has disadvantage on attack rolls, and all attacks against them are at advantage. Withdraw costs 1d6 and allows you to move half your speed away, and this movement doesn't provoke attack of opportunity. Poison costs 1d6 and forces a con save. If they fail, they are poisoned for 1 minute, but at the end of each of their turns, they may attempt to end the poison condition by retaking the save. To use this effect, you need to have the Poisoner's Kit on you. To end out this level, your sneak attack is now 3d6 extra damage. You've made it to character level 5. Bring your proficiency bonus up to +3. Poison Spray and Acid Splash now deal 2 damage dice each. Level 6 Rogues receive 2 more expertise. Place this into Acrobatics and Athletics. Level 7 Rogues now have Evasion. Now when you are forced to make a dex save, you take no damage on a success and half on a failure. Reliable Talent improves your skills. Now when you roll a skill check, any roll below 10 automatically counts as 10. Your sneak attack is 4d6 extra damage. You now have access to 2nd level spells. For your new spell, Melf's Acid Arrow fires a blast of acid at a creature within 90 feet, dealing 4d4 acid damage on a hit, and then 2d4 acid damage damage at the end of their next turn. If you miss with the shot, they take half of 4d4 acid damage. Level 8 rogues earn another ability score improvement. Let's raise dex for more stealth, attack, and damage. For your new spell, invisibility turns you invisible for 1 hour while you maintain the spell, and will end early if you cast a spell or attack. Level 9 Arcane Trickster Rogues gain Magical Ambush. Now when you cast a spell that forces a saving throw on a creature while you are invisible, they have disadvantage on the save. Your sneak attack damage is now 5d6 extra damage. You've reached character level 9, bring your proficiency bonus to +4. Level 10 rogues earn another ability score improvement to bump up intelligence for a better spell attack and DC. For your new spells, Dragon's Breath fires a spray of acid or poison in a 15-foot cone with a bonus action. Well, actually it can be a lot of different types of damage, but you have a theme, stick with it. Every creature within the cone must make a dex save or take 3d6 of the chosen type of damage. You can maintain this spell for 1 minute, and each turn while the spell is active you can use your action to use it again. You get your final cantrip here, have fun choosing. Level 11 rogues received improved Cunning Strike. You can now use 2 of your Cunning Strikes per sneak attack as long as you pay both costs. Your sneak attack is now 6d6 extra damage. For your new spell, Shield adds +5 to your AC as a reaction until the start of your next turn and automatically stops magic missile. Your character level 11, Acid Splash and Poison Spray now deal 3 damage dice each. Level 12 rogues earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Dex. Level 13 Arcane Trickster rogues now receive Versatile Trickster, adding a new ability to your mage hand. Now when you use your Cunning Strike to use Trip, and your Mage Hand is active, you can use your Mage Hand to trip someone else within 5 feet of it. Your sneak attack is now 7d6 extra damage. You now have level 3 spells. For your new spells, Stinking Cloud throws a poison grenade, unleashing a cloud of toxic fumes out to 90 feet from you. The cloud takes up a 20-foot radius sphere for 1 minute while you maintain this spell. Every creature that starts its turn within the cloud must make a con save or become poisoned until the end of your next turn. While poisoned from this spell, they can only take action or bonus actions. Your character level 13 raise your proficiency bonus to +5. Level 14 rogues gain Devious Strike. You now gain 3 more Cunning Strikes. For these new Cunning Strikes, Daze costs 2d6 and forces a con save. If it fails the save, it can only now do one of 3 things its next turn: move, take an action, or take a bonus action. Obscure costs 3d6 and forces a dex save, giving it the blinded condition if it fails until the end of its next turn. A blinded creature can't see, automatically fails perception checks that require sight, have disadvantage on attack rolls, and all attack rolls against it are at advantage. Knockout costs 6d6 and forces a con save. If they fail, they are unconscious for 1 minute or until they take damage. An unconscious creature can retake the con save at the end of each of its turns, ending the condition if they succeed. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 15 rogues receive Slippery Mind. You are now proficient in Wisdom and Charisma saves. Your sneak attack is now 8d6 extra damage. Level 16 rogues earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Intelligence. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 17 Arcane Trickster rogues get their final subclass feature, Spell Thief. Now when you are the target of a spell or within the area of a spell effect, you can use your reaction to force an intelligence save against the spellcaster. If they fail, the spell is negated and you automatically gain the spell for 8 hours as long as it's level 1 or higher, and it can be from any spell list. For the next 8 hours, the spellcaster can't cast that spell. You can do this once per long rest. Your sneak attack is now 9d6 extra damage. You've hit character level 17, max out your proficiency bonus at +6. Acid Splash and Poison Spray now deal 4 damage dice each. Level 18 rogues now have Elusive. Now no attack against you can be at advantage unless you're incapacitated. Level 19 rogues earn an epic boon. You can now take any feat, including epic boon feats or an ability score improvement if you want. Not really seeing a lot here that I want, so I'm just going to place this in charisma to fix that negative. If you want an epic boon, go for it. You now have 4th level spells. For your new spell, Vitriolic Sphere launches a 1-foot diameter ball out to 150 feet and explodes into a 20-foot radius sphere. Each creature within the blast must make a dex save or take 10d4 acid damage and an additional 5d4 acid damage at the end of its next turn. It only takes half damage on a success and not the secondary damage. Our final level is level 20 Rogue, and you gain Stroke of Luck. Now when you fail a d20 test, you can automatically make it be a 20 on the roll. You can do this once per short or long rest. For your final spell, Blight unleashes a toxic gas at a creature within 30 feet. Forcing a con save, they take 8d8 necrotic damage on a failure. Plants automatically fail this save, and non-magical plants just die and wither away. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 12, Dex 20, Con 14, Intelligence 20, Wisdom 10, Charisma 10. Let's dive in. You are very deadly. Focusing on melee attacks, choosing a short sword, you're dealing 1d6 plus 5 plus 10d6 normal damage and 2d8 poison damage. You can also sacrifice some d6s to add new effects like knock them out or just down. You can also roll 2 sets of damage dice and choose which you prefer. Moving on to magical attacks, your basic magical attack deals 4d12 poison damage or 4d6 acid damage. Moving to higher level spells, you can automatically switch damage out if you need to and can hit multiple targets. For your skills, you're adding plus 17 to your stealth. This can never be lower than 27 on the roll, and that can be at advantage if you're invisible. Your sleight of hand check can never be lower than 27, which means poisoning people isn't a problem. Even more because your invisible drone can do it out to 30 feet from you. Finally, you're pretty sturdy. You have proficiency in 4 different saving throws, can give yourself temp HP, can boost your AC, attacks against you can't be at advantage, and taking the average, your HP is over 180. Downside. Biggest problem with this build is you are reliant on your spells for magical damage, which means you're not getting sneak attack damage. You'll get a magical weapon, so who cares? Speaking of weapons, you don't have good range with anything until higher levels, so you're going to need a ranged weapon, but that will also be just a good idea anyway. You're also pretty heavy on 2 types of damage, but if we're being honest, that's just a theme. You have spells that can change the damage type, plus for the free spells I didn't give you, you can take different damage types. Finally, you just have limited resources. You're only a quarter caster, which means by level 20, you don't have that many spell slots, topping off at 11, with only 1 spell slot for your highest. Can a wizard do this better? Yes, but the spells are just the bonus. They can't fight back if they're already killed with the poison now, can they? Time to deliver the God Emperor's silent punishment, and in some cases, pretty horrific ones too. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Matthew Dens, Burton, and Jonathan Haynes. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.